Hey guys, Ed here. I just wanted to make this video to show y'all kind of what we were talking about online about the Frontier series of knives. Somebody had put on there one of the old Frontier series that I made several years ago, and I haven't made any in quite a while, so there seemed to be some interest in them again, so I thought I would make a few of them. And I wanted to kind of show you how you make them. Sometimes people think that Frontier series, well, they're just old knives and they're real easy to make. Well, uh, maybe I guess if you think about it, if you really put in some time to do some of the things that needs to be done, it takes a little time to be able to do them. So it's really uh, not much easier to make them than it is to make other knives that you make, because you're trying to antique it, make it look 18th century, 19th century persona to it. So anyhow, I wanted to show you these. The way I do them, there's several ways you can go about doing them. This one here I call the Buffalo Hunter. Um, it's one that I've made to kind of depict the old buffalo hunters or Indians who have to skin a buffalo and everything. You want a pretty hefty knife to be able to do that. I've got a customer in Kenya who uses a hefty knife to be able to skin and work on Cape buffalo. So this one here would be similar, I would think. I don't know for sure, but I'm not a historian, but I would think they would have used something similar to this to be able to skin out a buffalo and to work on the meat and everything in a situation back in the 1800s. Say. Uh, and to be able to do these, you notice this handle it's antiqued. I make it look like it's old. This is a walnut handle, a black walnut, and it came out of an old house in Texas, and that walnut has got to be at least probably 80 years old. That's there, and it's real good walnut, and really makes a good stable handle for a knife. You'll notice the finish is just I just left it. I left it kind of like it came out of the forge with this darkened. Each one of them will look unique. They're going to look different, every one of them will, as most of these Frontier knives do. They're all unique productions when you're building them, because each one's got a little different look to it. And I put it in a pouch sheath like this. I would, and it works pretty good. I wanted it real deep in there so it wouldn't be lost. I use this thing here to be able to pull it out of the sheath if you have trouble getting a hold to the handle or something to get it out of there. You can most of the time grab it and pull it out anyhow, but put that on there for that. This one here is a Kephart, Horst Kephart from the early 1900s. Made these. Of course, back then they didn't cost near as much as they do today, but that has been a proven design over the years. Everybody makes one and all. This one here has a cherry wood handle. That's cherry wood on that one, and it's been antiqued. And I have a flat grind. That's a flat grind on that other one too. Of these four, I've got flat grinds on them. Now you can make them with convex grinds, or you can make it a full flat grind or whatever. But these I did with a flat grind on them to show you what the flat grind looks like. A saber flat grind. That means it comes halfway up the blade. And I antiqued it, as you can see, to make it look that. It's got in a pouch sheath and everything where you can carry it. It'll accommodate about a 2-inch belt, inch and a half, 2-inch belt. This one here is a really nice knife. That's a good medium duty survival knife. and I named it the Trailmaster. Or no, not Trails End. I named it the Trails End because where I grew up, the community, the farming community where I was at, was named Trails End, and so I just decided I'd name this knife after that community that I grew up in, and it was a Trails End. I mean, people pay to do things that I did back then. The little brown shack out back, yeah, we had one, and so this is a knife that is named after that. Has a beefy blade on it, a good handle that you can really get your hand on. Now this wood in this thing is, I think it's oak, but I'm not sure. It came out of an old teacher's desk that was made in the 1930s or 40s. And I'll show you the wood. If you'll back up, Marie, I want to show them the wood here. The wood that I used was this wood right here. You can see the old dovetail design. These guys that made desks and all back then, they did it right. And I like that that look of that wood. So it came out of one of the old drawers. Now I know this is probably oak here. I'm not sure, but I think it is. This is the front drawer on front of and you can see that's got to be oak there. But I know it is heavy. It was a heavy old desk. I used it for years myself, but it's better days, and had to turn into knife handles after all those years. But anyhow, that's the Trails End. Comes in a pouch sheath like this, and clips in there. Okay, here's the one that some of you, there were several of you saw this knife on Facebook and really liked it. This is what I call the Varmint Hunter. It has a nice beefy little handle on it. You can really get your hand on that handle. Has the curvature type drop point blade, makes it an excellent hunting knife, and it's saber ground, as you can see. You can do it with a convex grind. You can do it with a full flat grind if you wanted to. These are all 5/32. I kind of like the 5/32. It's a little thicker than the 1/8 inch steel. You don't get quite as good at edge geometry with 5/32, but it's better than 3/16. You still got a good sturdy knife, and you still got good edge geometry. I put a convex edge on them so that they will hold an edge really well. These are made out of 80 CRV2, which is kind of like what they used to call Swedish saw blade steel. This steel that these are made out of has some vanadium in it. It also has some chromium in it. So when you are using this kind of steel rather than 1095 or 01, you know how bad they rust. Well, 80 CRV2 will rust, but not as bad as 1095 or 01 or some of those simple carbon steels. You can breathe on some of those and they'll rust. But these here, I left them in these sheaths. I had to wet the sheaths to form them to the knife. I left them in the sheath overnight. Now, there was a little speck of rust here and there, but I cleaned them up real fine. I like that 80 CRV2, and it is a tough steel. You can do all kinds of things with that. Holds an edge really good, and it's really tough. So that's why I decided just to go ahead and make them out of that, and it seems to be working out real good. Okay, guys, that's what I've done on the Frontier knives. I got 4 more on the way, but they'll be probably 2 or 3 days before I can get them on the website. These I'm just putting on the website tonight. This is Thursday afternoon, so I'm putting them on the website, and they'll be ready for y'all to take a look at here pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.